Hey everybody, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Yay! And today we're going to take a look at the song How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. And of course, it was done first by Marvin Gaye and then later on covered by James Taylor. And Marvin does it in the key of C and James does it down a fourth in the key of G. The reason I want to cover it is because of all the great little blues riffs that are in there. The song, of course, is not a blues, but it's played in the kind of a style, maybe you could call it rhythm and blues. There's some pretty interesting differences in the two versions. James Taylor is kind of like both versions are heavy with the blues piano, especially that kind of thing. That's really present in both versions. But the chords are really completely different. I like Marvin Gaye's version a lot because it's got really that church piano sound in there. It just comes in with the drum fill and just hits right on the 4 chord. How sweet it is. And then, I think most people have adopted the James Taylor version of the chords, but in the Marvin Gaye version, it starts on the 4 chord, how sweet it is, and it goes right to the 1 chord. It's got a G in the bass, but it's playing a C major chord, and it kind of just goes through C and D minor like that. And if you think about D minor, it's awful lot like an F chord, so it's just kind of doing that kind of thing, basically. How sweet it is to be loved by and there's lots of those little trills and little blues runs like that. So one of the coolest riffs in the Marvin Gaye version is when he's doing how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Especially that first part, 1, 2, 3. Like that. That's real church stuff right there, I gotta tell you. And it's just that first part is 1, 2, counting it, 1, 2, 3. So what is that? That's just C, D minor. You can kind of think of it as an F6 too. So, it's the basic blues type thing. Now, another thing I noticed is that you can take this riff and then when you go down to A minor, and so if you do this kind of a riff, you could do it on A minor too. Is if you do this on C, do it on A too. Now, it's because A would have that F sharp in it if you were like in the key of A, but you're not in the key of A, you're in the key of C, so. Sweet it is to be loved. And if you were going to do it in James Taylor's key, you could kind of do it the same way. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Like that. Now James does it this way. How sweet it is to be loved by you. So he goes down like that to the A minor. And there's some nice chords there, no doubt, if you're starting the song. right there, you've got D minor 11th. See, there's D minor, no 5th. Got the 11th right there. And then C major, and then, you get the Steely Dan chord there. They call that G mu or something. All right, so James is in the key of G. Comes in to the 4 chord, but then goes down to a 2 and a 5 and a 1. All right, so not quite as church-oriented as the original, but still a strong progression. How sweet. In fact, going down like this, you're using that Steely Dan chord. They call that G mu. It's a major chord that's got the 2nd in there, and it usually has the 3rd in the bass. So not always, but that's you've heard that chord in Steely Dan songs a million times. It's a G with a 2nd in there, and the 3rd down in the bass is pretty typical of that type of chord. So, and really, all it is you're moving C down to like a B minor, but you're keeping the G up there on top. So you can think of it that way too. Well, folks, I hope there's a tidbit or two of information there that you can use. And if you would like to support the channel, the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button and also leave a comment or give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to support the channel financially, you can sign up through Patreon and contribute a few dollars every month, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks.